Chris Hinshaw, thank you so much for coming and joining us here at the studio. We're down here in Wodapalooza, huge event. Day one kicked off with 5K run on the beach. Were you down there? Were you able to watch it?
So I actually went down and saw the sunrise. I mean, what a great venue down there. Water was calm. It was a really interesting event. I mean, it was truly a run. They ran into the water, out of the water. Yeah.
Was there any swimming at all, or was the water shallow enough where they could actually run all the way out and then run back?
Yeah, it was shallow enough where they could actually just stay on their feet the entire time.
Right.
But it was a nice, easy way for the athletes to do something that was challenging, but also something that would build their confidence. Right. It was a good way to start this competition.
And did you go out to Dubai for Dubai CrossFit Gym? Okay, so but you had coaching some athletes that were going through the sand run, right?
I watched every minute of that.
Okay. So were any of the athletes that you had today that you've been coaching, were you giving the pointers on running through sand, or does that change a little bit?
Oh no, absolutely. I mean, the same thing like when Matt was out there in Dubai, I'm looking at the type of sand that he was running in, and also up and down. It matters of what you're actually wearing and how you can ensure a good positive result. The same thing holds true here. There is technique in running in hard sand versus soft sand. And this course, they actually ran in hard sand on the way out and 5K on the way back. It was soft. And so, like Kristin Holte, I worked with her, and she was fortunate enough to have an amazing performance in the first place.
Yeah, she was also 5th place among all competitors. 5th or 6th place among all competitors. Yeah. And she was first by a long shot on the females, like almost a minute, I think, ahead of Tia-clair to me.
Right, and when an athlete in CrossFit has a minute lead, it's huge because they're just cruising, and all they have to do is win.
Right.
That's the thing, is that a finishing time in CrossFit really doesn't matter. You just win because it's placing.
Yeah.
So no, to answer your question, like Kristin Holte, she needed to understand how to run in soft sand by digging your toes down in there and getting stability of the foot. So there's a lot of technique, and one of the things that Holte's great at is when she doesn't know, she asks.
Yeah, she's a very smart athlete.
Oh my gosh, she really is.
Really smart.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about your roster of athletes that you've been coaching now. It's really blown up. Who are some of the athletes that you are now focusing on in the new season, and what are you coaching them through as they're navigating kind of new changes to the CrossFit calendar?
So this sport is continuing to evolve. It's becoming more and more challenging on the elite side to create more performance. I mean, if you roll back to the clock to 2013, I introduced pacing as an idea to maximize performances based upon your available energy in the time domain of a workout. But that's all common knowledge now on the elite end. And so what I'm driving at is athletes who are interested, like you mentioned, Holte, of learning, of wanting to push the edge, try new things, because this sport is brand new. If we think that we have a handle on coaching techniques and methodologies, you're kidding yourself. We are just in the growth spurt of this sport, and we're all trying to find that most efficient and effective way to create adaptation. Right.
Okay, so Open is right around the corner, right? And aerobic capacity and the Open go hand in hand. You want that barbell, that big heavy barbell, you're gonna have to earn it, and Dave likes to make you do that. Do you have any kind of tips or insight into tackling the Open this year that you're coaching some of your athletes through that are gonna try and qualify as a top 20 or a national champion in the Open?
So it's the same advice that I would give anybody, whether you're an elite level Matt Fraser, Rich Froning. You have to recognize that most of what we do, we have to support our structure. So what muscle groups, if we're supporting our structure, do we need to make sure that they're adapted? And the truth is the largest muscle group in our body should get first attention. And really, the movement of running is one of the highest values of time, because we must carry our own body weight. And if you're not comfortable in carrying your own body weight, how are you going to possibly stand on your feet during an open workout? It's the same thing of coming out to the beach. People are still surprised that running is involved. Running is a part of the sport because it carries over into so many things. So what you need to do is you need to look at your body, and are you neglecting certain muscle groups with your training methodology? Because the Open is going to show you those weaknesses.
It'll expose every weakness. Inevitably, it always does. You forgot to do something over the last 51 weeks of the year, and you're like, wow, I never thought that that would hurt that bad.
So that's where I look to athletes of they need to come to me and say, I have an issue with this. They have to recognize their own strengths and weaknesses, and then they should come to their coach and they come up collectively with that solution. It's a give and take now, especially at the elite end.
Yeah. All right, so last question here is about Wodapalooza. You've seen one event so far. We're gonna have event 2 coming up pretty soon. Who are your favorites? Who do you really like right now?
So I think Pat Vellner. I mean, did you see him? What the heck was that? I mean, legit. Like, he's here to really. And the guy's still going to school full time. I mean, it really is remarkable.
It is.
He's a scary guy.
Yep.
I think Tia on paper really remarkable, but if we look at Tia in her performances in open workouts, she's subpar.
Yeah. She's not a top 20 worldwide athlete. Not even close.
Not. So these workouts are kind of open style workouts. I was a little surprised at her performance this morning, but she really, in my opinion, is the one to beat at this competition. I think Sarah could have a good performance, but looking at Kristin Holte today, I mean,
Kristin Holte looks strong. I think event 2, given her performance in the live open announcement against Sam Briggs for this very similar style event 2 years ago with the dumbbell snatches and the burpee box jump overs. I think we're going to see Kristin Holte on the top of the leaderboard after day 1.
Yeah, I just hope that we see like we saw in Dubai.
Yes.
It just comes down and it's just like, what the heck?
Somebody should drop another $30,000 on that final event. We're going to have a lot of excitement. So anyways, thank you so much for joining us, Chris.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a pleasure.